On today's episode of a Beefy Fix, we're getting close to paint on Beefy. Sorry it's taken me this long to actually get some videos together. You will see by the slideshow of how he's come together at this point. Might have been a bit more boring up to that stage, but we're nearly at the paint stage, so we're actually going to see some good progress now. But before we get to the actual paint and the final bit, is we need to tidy up some gaps. He's a rat rod, so I'm not trying to be really over top with trying to make everything perfect on him. He's going to have like a fake patina paint job, which we'll show you soon. But you can see here, we've got gap issues. We've got a nice gap running around the door, most of the way around here. Then he tightens right up in these gaps here, all the way down back to here. Now I have cut and sectioned the cab and moved him out 100mm, but that wouldn't have affected those gaps. So I'm actually wondering if that was his original doors over there, and these were the doors which are in much better nick, that came off the other body that I bought to buy the front end off. So what we're going to do today is we're going to fix these gaps up. Now I'm going to show you how to do that and make that look nice. And we're just going to maybe try and get this bonnet bolted on his hinges, get him sitting back up where he should be, and maybe just try and tidy up these gaps a little bit. Once it's all bolted on the hinges, we'll be able to get a better idea as to the gaps. But we've got a bigger gap over here, so he needs to come this way. But so we'll just see what we can do. This door over here is even worse. Like you can see that he sort of nearly shuts, but he's just extremely tight. So we're going to have to sort of show you how we're going to do that today, which is all part of the fun of building something unique, I guess. So no more talking, let's crack out the grinder. Alright, first things first, we need to mark out where I want to grind it back to. The idea is I'm just going to outline where I want to grind back to, maybe go a smidgen more. Now we're just going to run the MIG weld around, weld the skins back together, and grind that back to the actual profile we need. So I've sort of been looking around for something, because as you know, I've just moved sheds, so finding things is a little bit of a hard thing at the moment. Technically I'll probably never get unpacked, it's probably going to be the way it is now. But I've just got this new little spanner here. He's just a fraction over, which might be ideal. He doesn't fit in the groove. He's got probably about another 2mm past what I really need, but by the time I grind back, weld it up, that's probably what we need. So we're just going to do a bit of a line around where we want to be. Down to where we sort of want to go. And taper him back in gently to there. We'll taper that back up into here gently. So that there should be pretty good. Crack out the grinder, make some sparks fly, and then see where we go. Well, I think that does door number one. Much better. Gaps now a bit more consistent all the way around. So I'll just put a bit of filler over it all just to smooth it all off a little bit. It needs bugger all though, because it's all quite consistent really. So that's door number 1. I thought I had to take a bit off that door, but door number 2 is even worse, so that's going to be a lot more grinding to cut that one back. So we'll pull Beefy out from the wall a bit and we'll get stuck into that part. Here we go. So that's door number 2. It actually shuts now. Cab's got a bit of an unusual sort of shape on this side, a bit of a twist. I don't know what's really going on, but God, it's such an old truck. I'm not really asking too many questions, to be honest. We just make it work. Everything sits pretty good and flush in a lot of areas. Just sort of comes out a bit lower down there, I guess. What's the other one look like? Oh no, it's about the same, so it's not really a big stress. Just check I'd welded a couple of things on this side. Yeah, it's alright. We'll make it work. Alright, that's the doors done. We might polish some a little bit of filler to that now and let that dry while we have a look at the bonnet. Massive overkill to what we really need, but I can't find anything at the moment because I'm still trying to find stuff. So this will do us. We're not going to need much. More of a trick of actually getting it on before it dries, but the weather's quite cold still, so don't go silly with a hardener. It should be okay. Maybe if we get some hardener that works. Alright, we'll get the bonnet off. We'll try and get the hinges on. Get the bonnet mounted to that and just start seeing how it swings open and shut with the hinges and manipulate it from there. Might need to go buy some more UNF bolts by the sounds of it. Yeah. Bonnet threads. They're very rusted and corroded. I had a hell of a time trying to get any of the other original bolts there, UNF or something like that, in and threaded, but I found one in amongst it. It had a little trick that I do, and it's actually got like a tiny little split, like a little groove cut into it. I do this a lot with bolts that I find just hard to get back into the normal thread, because I mean, you go by a tap and all that sort of thing, but I just stick a little 1mm angle grinder blade up through the thread there, just straight up and down, just on the end, and that acts like a bit of a tap to clean out the thread. Like this one up here, I couldn't even get the original bolt to even start in it. A little bit of working on the one with a split and sent him all the way through. I can now put the original in the hole, and it goes in nicely. So we've got the same deal down the bottom down here, where it just goes in and starts, but it gets really tight really quick. Not even a full turn on it really. And every time I back this one out, there's just a heap of rust and stuff fell out with it. So we'll wind this one in and do the same trick, and that'll be the last hole cleaned out. And then the original bolt goes in beautifully. This week on Duct Tape Fixes, we're going to rejuvenate some headlights. Now, looking at Buford's headlights here. You wouldn't think they'd be too old, would you? They turned up all yellow and haze when I bought it all second hand. So we gave them a quick sand and a clear coat. And that's what we're going to do to Vinny, the Velociter, today. Mrs. left a car behind so I can tidy these up for her, but the UV is starting to peel off it, so we're going to show you how to give them a bit of rejuvenation. So as we can see, the clear coat of the UV is starting to peel off badly. Where it's all sun damaged the most. So I'm just going to do the exact same way I did the Buford headlights on the Ute. Just going to hit it with some 800 in the orbital sander. Got to make them look really ugly before we make them look really good. So let's see how we go on this one. This is going to be somewhat experimental. I just want the headlights tinted a little bit. I don't want them to be black, just a little bit, to help that UV fade disappear a little bit. Just like I said, the headlights are already bad. I'm probably going to have to swap them to an LED bulb or something sooner or later, because I just can't be doing it, driving it like this too much more. Now I don't want thick coats, just want it quite thin. I reckon it'll be pretty close. Fingers crossed anyway. Alright, just got to get the air lines prepped and put the actual moisture remover on. And we're ready to paint. First coat. So that's the end of episode 1. Hope you enjoyed it. Where we got to, Vinny. This one's come up pretty damn good. I'm pretty happy with that one. It's really settling down good. This one, it's just got that imperfection in it there where it's like a silicone or something. And then of course my blunder with a wrap dropped in it. I'll see how that goes. I've got 3 coats of clear on it, so I might be able to just wet rub them down a little bit and buff them. Who knows? But I won't bore you with that one. That's our attempt. I'll give you a result if it actually works out. Beefy. I'm pretty happy where we got with that today. Like, I'm only trying to do small bits, but still keep moving forward. So got the doors sorted out, so they now shut, so they're actually ready for paint now where they weren't before. Bonnet, as ugly as it is, pretty happy with that too. That's good enough now. It's got some gaps around it where we can say that's ready for paint. Started repairing where I damaged it on the car trailer, but yeah, I think she's nearly ready for me to maybe next week. I think next week what we'll be looking at is preparing it a lot more. What we might do next week though is I might the welding and all of a cab extension and the inside of the guards and the doors and the bonnets or whatever. I really need to rust proof them and give them a coat. So that'll probably be next week. We're going to prep all that and get the body close to being ready. So the next couple of episodes we'll probably start towing it down to the workshop and maybe having a couple of days down there where we're sanding and laying on some colours, and then giving that patina paint job a go, which I've never done before. Next week's little duct tape fix, I was going to do something a bit more adventurous. I wanted to actually paint the outboard on the back of a boat and say a Toyota 1G3, because it's all very worn out and buggered looking. But beloved Paddy here is starting to have symptoms of a horrible death wobble. So we're just slowly getting worse and worse. So I'll have to probably have a little look at that. So that'll probably be the next week's fix. Find out which arm is actually causing us issues. I do have some bushes in there which were supplied with the last owner, and he said it started to go on him. So he sort of knew where the problem was, he just never put the bushes in. So we've got a bit of a clue there as to where the bushes will fit is where we're putting them. So next week's on the to fix list will be Paddy and his front bushes, and Beefy as the main star will be continuing on with a prep for his trailer ride down, hopefully without any damage this time, to start getting some more oxide red all over everything, and then a coat of black, and then we go the light blue we're doing it in for a top coat, and then we give it all a sand through to start tearing through the layers, and once all that's sort of achieved, then we'll clear coat it. So hopefully we can get that done in a couple of days, but that ain't far away. So if you want to come on that journey and see these fixes and see Beefy slowly come to life, then hit the like button and comment, share, do whatever you got to do. But good having you along. Thank you.